In just a few days, we're going to be counting down the seconds until the ball drops. Do you have your New Year's resolution ready and prepared? If not, Cassie Sobelton, a health and wellness expert, is here to share some ideas. And I love this, Cassie, because so many of us, we get to that New Year's resolution and we're thinking, okay, no more sugar, no more of those garlic bread sticks I love. But you're saying, hey, we don't have to cut anything out.
No, it's not necessary. Actually, adding in some good things can really help us eliminate the bad things. And so maybe focusing on eating one piece of fruit a day or one vegetable a day, swapping out some of your favorite foods with healthier alternatives. So for example, if you're really into pasta, there's some great different pastas that are made from whole grains like quinoa that can replace that white pasta that you might have that really give you an upgrade to health and some protein and some really great nutrients inside that pasta. So there's a lot of different ways of doing that. If you are looking at reducing some dairy, there's yogurt, almond milk, those types of things that can reduce that. You can add some greens into your life. You can cook with healthier oils, cook with sea salt. You can add in some healthy fat like avocados. And you can get in some nuts. There's a lot of different ways of doing that. So
it's called the crowd out theory.
So you're crowding out the bad foods by adding in the good foods. And if you just focus on maybe one thing you see here today that could actually replace one of your habits, your bad habits, and you do that over time, that makes big changes over a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. And why do you think people fail or succeed at their New Year's resolutions? What's the key?
Yeah, different people, the psychology behind that. Some people need something really big and then they'll focus on it and they can maintain that. But other people and most people aren't able to do that. And so these small changes can add up over time. I mean, we don't actually incorporate our bad habits all at once. We pick those up throughout our life and incorporate them. So incorporating good habits slowly is a little more sustainable.
So, we were talking earlier, Malcolm was talking about some of his resolutions, that he wants to work out more, he wants to eat healthier, but when it comes to resolutions, does it make a difference as to whether they're specific or whether they're vague?
Yeah, if they're too vague, it's going to be tough to be able to know if you're going to accomplish them, and so we want to be able to actually measure that. And knowing that you're eating one piece of fruit or changing out one of your favorite foods is something that you can measure, and you know that you're actually going to do that.
And for me, sometimes thinking like, okay, I'm going to do this year, it sounds so big.
Right.
Whereas if I think, okay, for the month of January, I'm going to swap out my pasta for edamame pasta or veggie spirals. I think, okay, I'm just going to do it for a month, and that seems like manageable.
Right.
And then the month of February, maybe I'll swap out my olive oil for coconut oil.
That's right.
Or something like that.
Exactly.
So breaking it down into smaller pieces, does that seem to be more successful?
Yeah, exactly. And the same comes into play when you talk about fitness. And so, so many of us join the gyms and want to get right in and do an hour or two a day or whatever, and that might not be so sustainable.
Yeah.
Whereas walking 20 minutes a day after a meal or having some hand weights and using those 10 minutes a day, that type of stuff will add up and actually sustain you throughout the year versus this huge boom and then a crash afterwards when you don't get there.
And let's just touch on hydration really briefly, because I know a lot of us don't get the amount of water that we should get in every single day, and you have a quick and easy way to do that.
Yeah, you can actually buy a water bottle. This one right here is what you should have for a day. It's 64 ounces. If you can't do that much, you do half of it, but you fill it up in the morning. You actually just make sure you drink that throughout the day, and you're going to be hydrated. 3 out of 4 Americans are dehydrated, so this would be a big one if that's all you did.
That's great. You'll have more energy, you'll feel healthier, feel better.